You went down to South Australia recently, Bob, to follow up on the southern hairy-nosed wombat. What did you do down there? Did you go down with a film crew? Is it going to air on television? What's the state of the animals down there? They're still doing the same thing they were doing the last time you were down there?
Oh, Colin, I'm, you know, this, as you well know, this has been one of my special little projects, right? You know, for many years now, and I got some good people down there. You know, we got Bridget and the volunteers down there that are working really, really well with the wombats, and virtually it's sort of a lone hand. You know, nobody else cares, and that includes the government. However, I went down there with a film crew from Channel 10. That will be aired on television very, very shortly, and they were extremely good. They did a very well-based story, or I thought they did. They got both sides of the story. They interviewed the farmer. We actually went to the farmer's property to have a look at the situation, and I might add at this stage, I did say to the farmer, "Mate, you've got some of the best wombat country I've ever seen," and he wasn't too happy about that statement. But yeah, look, Colin, I'm really hopeful that that we're actually starting to make a difference there. I mean, it's going to take time. You know, they didn't build Rome overnight, so one piece of really interesting and positive news that's come out just recently is that Bridget Stevens, who runs Wombat Awareness over there, has been asked by the state government to be involved in helping with new legislation in relation to the care of wombats, but not just wombats, the care of all wildlife in South Australia. So I personally think that that's a very positive step forward, and it's up to all of us now to get behind Bridget and also get behind the government if they're going to do the right thing and start to move forward.
What are they actually doing? You mentioned the farmer. What's the farmer actually doing to the wombats?
Well, this, you know, this particular farmer that I went and talked to, and the film crew talked to, and we went to his property and we had a look. I've got no issue with the farmer. He's gone through the right, you know, the right procedure. He's applied for a destruction permit for these wombats. I did try to explain to him that he's in a position where he is, that these wombats are destroying, not just wombats, I might add at this stage, there's a lot of rabbits there, so let's not pick on the wombats particularly, but they're destroying maybe 2 acres of his wheat paddock. Now, we need to get this in perspective. We got thousands and thousands of acres of wheat, and these wombats may be eating 2 acres. So it represents a very, very tiny percentage of his income.
How does he kill them?
Well, this particular farmer, to my knowledge, has not, up till now, killed any wombats. I can't be sure of that, of course, but there was no evidence and no indication that that was happening. What I did was I put 2 proposals to this farmer in how we could help him to overcome his little problem. I've not yet heard from him whether he's going to accept either of my proposals, or whether he's going to continue with his destruction permit. I don't even know whether it's been issued yet. I think I'll have to wait until the television program comes out. They may have more information than I've got. But I've got a positive more of a positive attitude now after hearing what the government's planning on doing, and I think we should get behind it.
So what is the process for destruction? What is it in a nutshell? How do they actually kill the wombat that lives in the ground?
Well, Colin, we actually get back to the inhumane treatment of our native wildlife, and whether it be legal or illegal, the burying of wombats alive, the placing of poisons in the burrows, even the use of explosives in the burrows. You know, I mean, we're talking about things that may have been acceptable in the 17th century, but they are not acceptable now. And I can understand there may be certain occasions where native animals are a problem. And not that I would condone the killing of native animals at any time, but if it has to be done, it has to be done in a humane manner. Poisoning, burying wombats alive that die over 2 weeks, blowing them up with explosives is just not acceptable.
Thanks, Bob.